Welcome to Gaming Fin, your channel for everything related to the gaming industry and the financial markets, the stock markets. And today I will talk about electronic arts. And a disclaimer, I'm not invested in electronic arts and I'm not really at the moment looking to invest in electronic arts. So guys, also I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a retail investor myself, a YouTuber, a gamer, so I like to game, and I like to also talk about the gaming companies, the gaming industry behind of this. And of course, if you invest in all those stocks on the gaming companies, you can lose a lot of money. So always make up your own mind and your own research, guys. So let's jump directly into it. Electronic arts. This has been for a long time. This has been one of the most disliked companies for very long time. And I always wanted to, okay, yeah, they started with different monetarization models, loot boxes and all of this. So I was not so bothered by this, and actually investors liked it, and also the gaming industry in general liked it, because they were following electronic arts with the loot boxes and with all of this. And then sometimes they also had some games on the Origin launcher on PC. They have an Origin launcher on PlayStation. Of course, you can buy a FIFA game, NFL game, and you play it directly. But on PC, they had this EA Origin launcher, and people were buying the games on Steam, and they didn't like the Origins launcher. But this Origins launcher is dying slowly out, so it's going to become like a third-party launcher in Steam mostly. So, and what I don't know like on this company is the PE ratio of 38. So it's extremely high PE ratio. Market cap, we are at 34 billion. So it's a big company nowadays. And if you look on the very long time chart, so this is one of those 100 baggers that you can read in some financial books. And you have always to keep in mind, yeah, it sounds now very fun if you were, that you tell yourself, oh, if I would have bought it in the 90s, I would be now filthy rich. But guys, no one would have bought electronic arts in the 90s probably, because they were just coming out with some football pixel style games. And there's so many other gaming companies nowadays that you would say, yeah, okay, then if I buy this company, it will also 100x. No, it's not how it works. But in the 2000 years, and when the gaming was then really growing strong, so gaming was not only something for kids and for nerds, but it became with the PlayStation, became a mass media. Then they really went strong. And then of course in the financial crisis 2007-8, then they were dropping also massively. So this was of course a good point then to pick up some value stocks, because also at this point already, I would say, with the FIFA games, with the sports games, EA Sports in general, there was already a lot of value. So, and then with the whole let's say tech growth bubble that we are seeing in the latest years, they were coming back. And if we go down in the last 5 years, it is impressive. Actually, it's impressive that in the pandemic, yes, they were. So yeah, that's the pandemic drop. The pandemic drop is from $109 to $86. That's not too much. And then they were coming back nicely. But I have to admit, what I think is very interesting with electronics arts, and it's probably because it's such a big company nowadays, so it's already one of the old gaming companies, that they had their top only at $147, only at $147 from $86. So that's not a lot. And since then, they're falling because the PE ratio, it's still like has a multiple of a growth company. It's still falling when you just look at the chart. So it's going to be interesting to see if we fall more, or if we at one point in time to get the turnaround. But of course, in order to value this for the long term, you know, I'm a long-term investor on my channel, so I'm not trading my gaming companies. On a long term, we have to look especially on the games. We have to look on the prospects of electronic arts. We can also compare electronic arts with Activision, and there you see actually they're pretty much the same. and Activision just had the chance to get the buyout offer by Microsoft. Is allowed, and Activision here in yellow allowed Activision to come back, but Activision definitely was always more volatile than Electronic Arts. So on a 5-year basis, Activision is 10% up. On a 1-year basis, Activision is also up. Yeah, that's because of the buyout. But what is interesting to see, on a max basis, the green is Electronic Arts. It's crazy how Electronic Arts outperformed actually Activision. So 24,000.6 percent. Oh my god, guys. So financial income statements, I'm going to cover this immediately, but first I want to jump a little bit into the games, and therefore we go on Steam. On Steam, and then we see on Electronic Arts. So we have 780,000 followers for Electronic Arts. That's pretty good. So Wild Hearts is coming. That's a new game. We can check this out. And Jedi Survivor, and we get a Dead Space remake. That's also important. And then we have those games like Need for Speed and FIFA, Madden, Formula 1. So those are of course very important games for Electronic Arts. But you see Wild Hearts, it's like Monster Hunter from Capcom, 26,000 followers already, so that's pretty neat. And I'm sure this game has all the chances, by Koei Tecmo Games developed, so has all the chances actually to become a successful title for Electronic Arts. So I'm definitely not so negative about this. So they really created some very expensive flop games. What was this game? As something with an A. We already forgot it. So some flop games, but the problem is on Steam those games flop because they were on PC, because they were not developed, not published on Steam. So but now Electronic Arts is back on Steam, and therefore I'm sure they're going to have more success with those games. The same is with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 42,000 already, and the first Star Wars Jedi title by Respawn developer was also very successful. So you see, guys, a lot is coming, a lot is going on with Electronic Arts on Steam. EA Play is also very good. So I am, for example, I'm a subscriber to EA Play. I pay now. On 1 year, I think I paid like 20 euros, but normally it's each month you pay $4 to play the huge catalog, and that's totally worth it for me. That means I don't really purchase those EA Play games. I'm just playing the games done in the subscription. So games as a service subscription system works via Steam, via Origin Launcher, but of course also via the Xbox Game Pass on the Xbox. It works as well, and I think there it's already included in the Xbox Game Pass. So they also profit actually from Microsoft pushing their games as service, program out. And if you scroll down, oh my god, they have really a huge back catalog. I mean, they have all the Need for Speed games, and sometimes you really get them for so cheap money. And they have all the Star Wars games, Apex Legends. That's a free-to-play game, that is played at the moment with 286,000 people play this game now. It's a battle royale title. So guys, this is a massive number. And this is actually also the reason why, did I have the chart here? This is the reason here. When Electronic Arts was falling in 2019, Electronic Arts was coming back because of Apex Legends. So, and I was like, so okay, this Apex Legends battle royale game, this could 2020, so I think it's a bit later. I thought like, okay, this could be actually interesting. So I was at $80. I was thinking like, why not buying a little position of Electronic Arts? Then I missed it, and then Apex Legends came out, and it went up like crazy here around about here, 2020. So, and then it really went up massively, and now since then it's still holding itself very nicely up. So Apex Legends is a free-to-play game, but I think it has seasons pass, or it has a different in-game purchases, so it is a cash machine. We can also go on Steam. We can see if we look at the stats here, we can look, then we go to the top selling games. when you look at the top selling games, you can always see if games actually make a lot of money. So yeah, it is on number 7 on top money making apps or products on Steam, on number 7. That's pretty good, directly behind War Thunder Football Manager, also very high. So if you scroll through, you can also look for other Electronic Arts games. Cycling bundle, that's interesting. So we see, for example, do I see another Electronic Art game? Electronic Art. So EA Play. So I mean, it's FIFA 46. FIFA 46 Battlefield was also a big flop. So yeah, talking about the games, so sometimes they have some very good titles and sometimes they have some flops. So alright guys, so here that's the website. So you see some Sims is also part of Electronic Arts. Dead Space is coming soon. FIFA and Need for Speed, Madden, Apex. So those are the biggest programs they have at the moment. Welcome to Electronic Arts. You see also here this FIFA and Star Wars and Formula 1. All of those games are really pushing a lot. So we have to jump here to the investor relation page, and there I found a last report. That's a little bit older, this report from the second quarter, but it's maybe useful to just get a little idea about the numbers. So select operating highlights and metrics. So total net bookings for the trailing 12 months was 7.3 billion. That's a lot, up 4%. Live services and other net bookings for the trailing 12 months were 7% and represent 73% of the total net bookings. So live service, that's a really big growing market in the future. EA Player Network grew more than 600 million active accounts at quarter end. So I don't want to count all the double accounts, but yeah, I mean, people play a lot of those sports games. So also FIFA, that's the most casual game in Europe. It's casual gamers play FIFA, and they even spend money on it. And you all heard about kids having a daddy's credit card, and then they were like buying for hundreds of euros. They're buying I don't know, some cards for FIFA. Net cash provided by operating activities was 1.788 billion for the trailing 12 months. So net cash provided by operating activities, so that's the cash machine. Based on the first 4 weeks of data, FIFA 23 is our most successful launch yet, with unit sell-through of up 10% on the comparable period. And this year we had the Football World Championship. So in line with our expectations, net bookings compared to the prior year, net bookings were down 2% in constant currency, driven primarily by the timing of the Formula 1 launch. So down by the timing of the Formula 1 launch, meaning that it was actually not so successful. Is this what it means? Then live service and others, at constant currency, live services are flat year over year, driven by the time of the FIFA launch, offset by addition of the Golf Clash and strength of FIFA Online. Then full game, at constant currency, full game was down 6%, driven by portfolio timing. So yeah, a little bit down, and then we get a lot of other metrics and information here. Mobile profitability, leveraging our IP, growing our portfolio. Yeah, it's important that they definitely grow their IPs also mobile. And here I think about FIFA Mobile, that's definitely, you see it already here as the first game, or also the other sports games. So there's a lot of potential for the sports game on the mobile platform. So shooters, of course, Apex Legends, also I think it does exist also mobile. And then yeah, casual lifestyle, sim games, Sim City, everyone knows, Plants vs Zombies, so Simpsons. So that's all very good to go mobile with this, so to get the casual gamers in. Environment, social and government highlights and commitments. Oh yeah, I mean, they have been attacked so much by the left media on the way how people worked in their company, and therefore it was like it was always like EA Electronic Arts was the company where you had crunch times, etc. Blah blah blah. So you know all the story. You can read this on Kotaku if you want. So, but there they put a lot of efforts here, like Ubisoft or Activision, to make now emission-free games or whatever. So if you care for this stuff, it's fine. For me as an investor, it's marginal. So, because it doesn't really put something more in the numbers. So quarterly guidance, net operating expenses. So here you get some more detail. So I'm not a financial advisor, guys. You know this, so therefore I cannot give you a very detailed analysis, of course, of their financials. So that's not my job. I'm more a gamer turning to the stock market. So therefore I'm more looking at companies from this point of view. But if we look also, we see here we have a dividend yield even of 0.61 basis points. That's not bad. PE ratio, as I said, I think it's a little bit high, but is it still a growth company? So can Electronic Arts in the future grow? I mean, that's the basic question you have to ask yourself. Is Electronic Arts a company that after this massive growth from the 90s now can still grow? So if I look at other gaming companies, if we now put, for example, a Nintendo, another huge gaming company, maybe let's put the Japanese Nintendo. So oh, that looks interesting on a maximum scale. There we see also, yeah, it's Nintendo is growing a little on 5-year basis. Nintendo grew 22% the stock, so the price development of the stock. And there I would say Electronic Arts is a bit lagging behind though. But it's because it is already a massive company. Here we can look at the annual financials. It is already a massive company. Here we see the revenues actually growing over the last 5 years. So this is something I like. But then if I look at the net income, it is falling. So in 2020 it was the highest, probably due to FIFA. But so over the 5 years, we even when we compare 2020 with 2018, we have a lower net income, and this is all not really that good. So there we see. So we have some growth. So revenue 24%, operating expenses also grow, of course, but net income falling 5%, 6%. Net profit margin also down. That's also an important metric. And EBITDA, we have 33% up, so that's okay. Effective tax rate 27%, and I looked at some Focus Entertainment yesterday. We had an effective tax rate of 50%, so I was thinking like, so dudes, really, is this France? You have 50% for a company? I mean, who wants to build a company in France? Just saying this. I mean, the effective tax rate plays a role, so therefore I'm much more oriented, of course, for the American market. Then we have the balance sheet. Cash and short-term investments is down. Balance sheet, total assets up. Total liabilities is also up 13%. Shares outstanding, price to book. So also there was a time Electronic Arts, I think, was extremely shorted. So it was a time when they were attacking the company here for all kind of reasons. So here in 2018, 2019, I remember this. It was a very massively shorted company. Cash flow important, guys. So net income down, cash from operation. This is now an annual basis. See here, cash from operations down, cash from investing 455%. So that's a good question. Is this because they bought Codemasters, the racing developer? I don't know. It's possible. Cash from financing, very difficult to read into those numbers. Net change in cash and free cash flow also down. Maybe that's a better easier information. The free cash flow. So I think in September 21 they bought Codemasters, so that's very much possible. All right, guys. So I would say I'm leaving this not short video. It's not a short video. This video about Electronic Arts here, and I can only recommend you to, of course, read yourself a little bit into the numbers if you're interested in investing in Electronic Arts. And then take your own decision, of course. The PE ratio, I think, is still a bit high. And the question, can they grow more? Only with the sports games. So I, for myself, I'm not so interested to invest at the moment because I simply don't know where we're going. I think we have a very high PE ratio, and there are other gaming companies that have a lower PE ratio for now, and I see more growth potential there than with this classic gaming company. But that Electronic Arts is a more defensive gaming company because with their really strong IPs like FIFA Battlefield also, even if Battlefield was a flop, I don't see them going bankrupt. So they're a little bit, or let's say they're more defensive than some of those small cap Polish, micro cap Polish companies. But there's growth, of course, and here is a little bit less growth, but you also get a dividend, so also take this into account. And Maximum, I mean, they were growing from an under $1 company and now to $123. So everyone that bought into Electronic Arts after the financial crisis is still a lucky person. Therefore, we should always keep this in mind. So long-term investment, of course. So don't trade stock like this. Don't trade Electronic Arts. So trading, I don't see this makes any sense. But Electronic Arts is still one of the big players out there, and they're reinventing themselves, and they're back on Steam, and they still have strong IPs. They have the mobile gaming sector, so there is still a lot of potential in there. But at the moment, the multiple is too high for me personally, and I think it's going to be difficult for them to grow that much more in the future. All right, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.